is the Glass Cannon Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Gen Con 2022 Glass Cannon Network Booth of the Stars. We're having a spectacular weekend. As you can hear from my voice, I have not shut up for 4 straight days, and I'm running on empty here. I've got nodes on my vocal cords. I'm in constant pain, but this is what marathons feel like, right? Your feet just start bleeding right at the end, but that's when you get that adrenaline because you see the finish line, you know it's there, and it's so exciting to have not completed a full weekend of work, but to have had and experienced what I will clearly say is my favorite Gen Con I've ever had. And I have some really important people to thank for that. And those people, a couple of them are sitting with me right now. This doesn't happen without our sponsors. I've said it multiple times to you this weekend. I said it once to you before when we were playing Dread. Matthew Kabadakaza may have pointed it out. That stream was brought to you by our friends at Syrinscape. Syrinscape are the ones who stepped up when we reached out. I called our good buddy Dan and said, can you help us make this booth happen? And he said, this idea sounds amazing. Let me see what I can do. And we started the wheels rolling a couple months ago, and now here we are. Syrinscape is sponsoring this booth mainly because they're so excited about their new web player, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me introduce you to my guests. To my right, I just hit his microphone right into his face. Oh, sorry. To my right is Steve Barr from Syrinscape. Steve, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Great to be on the show.
And to his right is our good buddy Dan Tharp from Syrinscape, based here in the U.S., out in Seattle there. Hey, Dan.
What is going on? Hey, everybody. Welcome.
You guy, come on. Nash, you know Dan. Dan's been basically a member of the Nash for many years now, and he is a fantastic champion for us over there at Syrinscape. Syrinscape holds a very special place in my heart. It is the first audio, what do you want to call it, companion, background music, background sound effects you ever heard on the Glass Cannon podcast. They were there since day 1, episode 1 of Glass Cannon podcast. You will hear the sweet sounds of Syrinscape into your ear holes, and that is because it goes back to even before the Glass Cannon podcast. I remember sitting in Skidmar's living room while he was like, I got this new thing, and it's amazing. And he was playing Syrinscape out of his TV while we were all sitting around playing. I was guesting in a Rune Lords game briefly. So Syrinscape has been a part of our lives since the beginning. They've been there to watch us grow and help us grow, and so we want to talk about what they're doing next to elevate Syrinscape to the next level. You'll see in the corner down here a little logo for Syrinscape Web Player. There's been a lot of different ways to play Syrinscape. There has been a web player of sorts, or no, it was Syrinscape Online, right?
Syrinscape Online.
Syrinscape Online, but this is something different. Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, essentially what we've done is with the we can start with the online player since you already talked about
Yeah, the online player, okay.
Online player was our way to create an ability for GMs and DMs to be able to run their RPG games remotely. As more people were using VTTs, as more people were using Discord for connection and talking to each other and bringing up things, the online player was our way to, hey, add our awesome sounds to your online game and make it happen. I'm not going to lie, there was a few hoops to jump through to get that thing up and running. Just a few. It was easy, but it wasn't. I think the thing is that we learned from that. And, after for quite a while, we've been trying to figure out how can we make this more elegant, how can we make it easier for mostly the DMs and the GMs to get things moving, because, it wasn't uncommon to spend the first chunk of your game time getting everybody set up through the online player. After all the hard work, and day 1 of this Gen Con on Thursday, we announced our web player. And the web player changes everything. It's pretty much the same thing for the GMs. They have the same interface. They still use the master interface to control the sounds. All of that. Up in the corner, there's a link that just says share audio. You hit that. It gives you a URL. You send that URL to the players. They click the link. It opens up a page in their browser. And now suddenly they've got their own player that lives in the browser. They control their own audio. There's no.
But Dan,
Joe,
tell me, you have to sign in though. Like as a
No.
player, you have to have an account. You have to put in your email and a credit card, right?
No longer. That was a thing for the old online player. You had to register and all be set up. Now with the web player, you literally just click that link, boom, you're in the game. It's that easy.
You just click the link and you're in the game.
That's right.
No sign-ups necessary. GM's got to have an account and all that stuff. But like a player, you just send it out and they're in.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that trying to make it as elegant as possible again. There's no worry about having to kick out to another site. There's no worry about having to go in and do anything else other than hit that URL. It opens up. In fact, yesterday, Ben did a panel for Gen Con, and as he was doing his panel, he brought up his master interface and sent out the link. And people were clicking and connecting into his game from the Gen Con chat.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was running sounds for him as he was talking, and it was. Look,
We should have set that up. We could have set that up, right?
I was blown away. I was like, this is working. This is amazing. Are you kidding me? It's not on fire right now? This is nuts. Come on. But it worked. Like the dev team did an amazing job. Like they got it up and running. I'm not going to lie. From where we had a workable concept to what we announced on Thursday was not that much time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. We talked a couple weeks ago, and I thought that it might not even be released at Gen Con. I thought it might be like just after. Yeah.
So did we.
I mean, that was the vibe I got from our conversation. And then I was like, all right, so Dan, you can just let him know like when, it'll drop. And he's like, it already did. And I was like, what? A Gen Con hype interview about something that's already here and ready to go?
Yeah, look, it's the equivalent of look under your seats. Does this sound amazing? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Look under your seats, everybody. It's here.
Go right now. Take a peek. Isn't it app.syrinscape.com?
Yep, that should take you there. Also, you can go to syrinscape.com/webplayer, and that'll take you to the landing page for the web player. So you can have a few things you can play around with and all of that kind of thing, and kind of give it a tester.
Well, I'm extremely experienced with the sounds of Syrinscape. I've used it so many years to back our shows. Not everybody is so familiar with the length and breadth of what would be available to them there in terms of the sound sets. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Steve, do you design some of these sound sets?
Yeah, so I'm the content manager, so we have a small team that kind of put all the sound sets together. And we've got about 900 sound sets at the moment.
900 sets?
Sets, yeah. We've got over 3,000 pieces of music, hundreds of thousands of samples, and we're releasing new content every single week, apart from next week, because we are taking a break next week.
Next week, we're sleeping.
Yeah, that is actually true.
But you're constantly releasing new
Constantly
stuff.
new content, yeah. And of course, all of our licensed partners, plus all of our kind of what we call Syrinscape originals, so all your generic sound sets. So whether you're kind of playing anything from kind of Pathfinder, Dungeons & Dragons, Cyberpunk, Call of Cthulhu, or even just for your own homebrew games, there's going to be sounds out there amongst that gallery that will cover everything that you could possibly want.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know about the Cyberpunk, that you had like cross stuff that would work for Cyberpunk.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome. When you say your licensees, your partners, like who are you talking about? Are you talking about like game publishers or musicians? Like, to me, who do you guys work with?
Yeah, so we work directly with the actual studios. So kind of Paizo, for example, we produce the official sound sets for their games.
And these sets are sometimes by the actual AP, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like the AP book 1, book 2, book 3.
Scene by scene, everything going through. Even kind of going as far as we've got Jason Borman, James Jacobs actually doing voices for us. So, it's not just us making up the sound sets. We're literally getting the writers to come into the studio, give us their voices, and get in there. And I know, obviously, we've got the Glass Cannon sound sets as well.
That's right. You got Tom Exposition in there, Razzmatazz in there.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. I think Tom Exposition's great, where we even had Troy do recordings to where you could have a conversation with Tom Exposition.
Oh, yeah. He has all different answers for you.
Yeah.
Always vague, always throwing you off, which is exactly what Tom Exposition is meant to do.
So good.
Tell me about the sound sets that I always used for Syrinscape were always downloaded. I always used the client, right? I would download these things onto my computer. Are all of the same sound sets available in the web player?
Yeah, they're exactly the same, and they even sound better now. With the new web player, the actual compression is better, so you've got better sound quality with no need to download. So you've got all those sound sets. As soon as you sign in to your account, they're there. No download, no setting up, just so much easier.
Do you think that this is going to phase out older forms of your guys' stuff, or do you think...
I think there's always going to be a need for the offline player, so what we call the fantasy player or the sci-fi player, because people, convention halls are a prime thing. You've got no internet signal or it's a bit sketchy. Whereas if you've got the offline player, you can play it straight away. But I think a lot of people are definitely going to make that shift to the online player. I know I certainly am now, even when I'm playing at the table. Just being able to play online, the great search function that you've got, streaming, everything kind of goes going so much easier. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to take control.
Does it have this? Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Well, what he's saying is there's always going to be get off my lawn type people like Joe over there. Use the app and download stuff and just play it natively.
Yeah.
But but that's true though. There is an extra need for it with that if you don't have connection, and so
Let me back up for a second because, Steve, we just met. We've talked online before. We've emailed before, usually about licensing kind of stuff, but we've never met in person. I actually don't even really know you that well. So take a second here and talk to me about your kind of history in gaming and how you come into this business. What kind of gamer are you? What are your favorite kind of games?
Yeah, so I started gaming when I was about 15. I think my first ever experience was playing one of the Palladium games. It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was something, when we were at school, it was kind of a group of us got together and just thought it was fun to do. And I, straight away, I kind of pretty much fell in love with gaming. I've been gaming ever since. So when I was kind of in my very early 20s, I used to work in a kind of big, quite a big game shop in the UK. A company called Travelling Man, and kind of loved working there, kind of got really involved in it. And then I suppose after a while, I went and got myself a job working corporate, and kind of we don't talk about that time in my life.
The dark years.
But these things you have to do. And probably about 8-9 years ago, Syrinscape was actually back when it was literally just Ben. And he was going around conventions, and he had his little trestle table, 2 speakers, and a stereo system, and that was our entire booth presence. He was looking for some volunteers, so I thought, well, I'll give it a go because I'd found the app and I really enjoyed what he was doing. We got on really, really well, so I did a couple of shows for him. Then at that stage he brought out the Creator, which is the tool that lets you build your own sound sets. So within Syrinscape you can actually upload your own sounds, your own music, and kind of put those all in. And I just started tinkering with that just as a community member. And I've got no experience in kind of sound design or Foley work at that time. Ben got them and actually really, really liked them.
You had a natural instinct.
Just a natural instinct for it. So he asked me to do kind of a couple of others as a test, and apparently they were quite good as well. And so my very first community content suddenly got turned into proper Syrinscape content.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's where it all kind of came from. And then I became the first of his employees, kind of just built up.
Oh, you're employee one.
I was employee one as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, it was pretty amazing just kind of seeing the journey kind of go through to where we are now.
What are your favorites to play these days in the RPG realm? Do you like you like fantasy games? Do you like sci-fi games better? What do you prefer?
So for me, I'm sci-fi. I mean, I do love kind of D&D and Pathfinder, but Cyberpunk is my big jam. So that's one of the reasons why we got the Cyberpunk license, because I really pursued that one. I was so kind of keen to work with them there.
They're also great.
Yes.
They're great to work with. Is Artos Soria, and they're great. And are you playing Cyberpunk Red like right now?
Yeah. So I'm DMing. I'm actually playing Star Wars for a group of friends, and we play Cyberpunk as well. Okay. So they're our 2 big ones. But the Cyberpunk stuff, we've done some great sound sets for them, and we've got a lot more content coming. But whenever I get a chance to build Cyberpunk content, that's always like when I get the most excited.
Kid in a candy store. And you also play video games with this guy sometimes, don't you? Haven't I seen you guys streaming together?
Yes.
We started. So when I got on board, we started the Twitch channel. And after a while, I was like, we just need some content. Like, there is absolutely nothing happening on this thing. Yeah. So I got Steve, and I was like, hey, man, we both like survival video games. Let's play some games. And so we just started playing video games that we don't make any content for. We're not connected with at all. It was just an excuse to put something up on the channel. And also is a good way to spend the end of our Wednesday. It was let's do that. So that was, I kind of miss doing that. Like kind of made me sad bringing that up, Joe. Thanks.
You should do more of it. That's what I'm saying. Bring it back. You're not busy, right?
No, not at all. No, we're good.
No, not at all. But you like to play survival games?
Dude, I love survival games. They're my jam. Like, in fact, every Saturday. With Bowman, Jason Bowman, we play 7 Days to Die. We've been doing that for, I don't know, what year is it now? Like, it's nuts. And my channel, I don't know if you know this. This is now the Dan Servo stream. Hey everybody!
Sponsored by @Dan Servo. on Twitch.
I have a charity channel, so I
Yes.
tell people like don't sub to me and don't give bits or anything, just give to Extra Life, which I play for Seattle Children's Hospital. So last year I raised almost $12,000, which was awesome because the Servo Army is awesome. And so if you want to drop by Saturdays, that's what we're doing. And then maybe Steve and I, and actually we're going to get you, Joe, because I have a private server for 7 Days to Die. And
I've heard great things.
We're
You
gonna bring
you
you
know we've talked that I love survival games, but I haven't played it yet. Have you played it?
Oh yeah, so we used to play that on Survival Series. Bullman used to join us for that as well. And if we can get him on the private server, he's an interesting chap to play 7 days with. Also, there were landmines and changing blocks and painting the colours.
He sabotaged our Horde Night in a very good way. Bowman is sneaky. Yeah, you don't want to make him angry. He's going to find a way to get you back.
Sneaky Bullman and sus servo.
Sus Servo.
That's so good. I also happen to know a little insider baseball. Not only is the sound set happening, but there's also the sound sets are happening, but there's also isn't there like a Syrinscape original adventure or something?
There is actually. Steve, you want to talk about that?
Are we allowed? Was I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, so I think it was.
I guess so. Look, cat's out of the bag. Thanks, Joe. Let me alert the devs and have them make that page live. Before
Yeah, so Ben Looms, obviously CEO for Syrinscape, he loves writing adventures, and it's another one of his hobbies. And he's got a lot of adventures that he's written over the years that we've played as a team, and they're pretty awesome, they really are. But we never really had any avenue of what to do with them once we'd played. But now that we've got the web player, we've just literally published the first one on our website, and you've got the full adventure. It's all down to 5th edition, I believe. Mm-hmm. And you've got all the stat blocks are there, the whole adventure is all written out. But it's all hyperlinked, so as you're kind of playing through that adventure as a DM, you can just push the button and it sets off the sounds from Syrinscape Online. You can literally hear the sounds now directly through the web player.
I'm trying to follow this. So the adventure's on the screen. Like you're like reading the text,
just on
right?
our web
the GM
page.
text.
Yeah.
And there's a button that's just like play the sounds of this scene.
Throughout the adventure, as you kind of get to your encounter, you've got a little hyperlink, you click your hyperlink, you've got the sounds.
And it's all mixed and everything in the background.
All mixed, all the full beauty of Syrinscape, all straight from that page. So you're not going backwards and forwards on screens, you've got everything in front of you.
So on the client, the customizability of any given sound set is pretty awesome. You can take any sound and sort of like level it and mix it at the level that you desire. Did all of that transition over to the web player?
It did, yeah. So everything's there. So you can literally change your reverb on it, your location, your distance. The Syrinscape is a 3D engine in itself. So if you're sat at the table, the sounds are coming from you from all directions dynamically. So it's like if you're in a forest, it's natural. You've got the sounds of the snapping twigs, the birds from all around you. And the web player does exactly the same thing. And if you've got kind of access to the creator tools, you can alter all of that. So you can literally change it yourself. If you want the campfire off to the side, you can change that. If you want the birds moving around, you can change that. If you want something to swoop past, you can change it so it kind of literally comes in and disappears.
That's amazing. I have found that I really love using it as a player because the GM has a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, to like kind of add to it and to make it spontaneous enough that you can easily find things and make them happen when you're not preparing the game. Like you didn't know you were about to be thrown off the ship and be underwater now. It's good to be able to find things quickly. And so this search function you mentioned is it's going into sound sets, finding specific sounds. It'll pick out specific unique sounds.
That's it, yeah. So within the online player, or the web player as it is now, you've got two search functions. So on one side of the screen is your sound set search. So that's a quick and easy. If you know the name of the sound set, you can just pull that up. On the other side of the screen, we've got a full-on proper fuzzy search, which is great if you kind of misspell things or you're not too sure how something's meant to be. You can set different filters, so you can look for just a one-shot, for a mood, for a whole sound set. And you can find that without leaving the main sound set. So if your players do something unexpected, which always happens, you can now quickly pull up those one-shots from with the other search, and you've got it directly there then to be able to kind of activate whilst you're still playing your main sounds. You can feed it all in, and everything kind of fades and filters.
Yosarian in chat just said, as I'm clueless, how does Syrinscape integrate with a virtual tabletop so that everyone gets the same audio at the same time? Do you tap into Discord or... ?
Nope. So the web player is it works alongside any VTT. So it's literally your GM or your games master opens up their version of the app. They send you the link. You click it, and then you're now in their game, their session. Any sound that the GM then clicks on their master interface plays on your browser. So you get the sound directly on your computer, your device. You can control your own volume, but your games master still obviously has the full ability to take control of that. So you're not going through Discord, you're not going through any kind of audio channels, you're literally triggering the sounds directly on your players' devices.
And that means, and when you say side by side, is in another tab over, you can have your VTT open.
Yeah, so you got VTT
playing on
one
that,
tab,
and just in
Syrinscape
the background on another tab, it's coming straight through without the help of any other.
That's right, yeah.
Services.
I know. Because we have what we call kind of a third-party integration within Syrinscape, you can even set up macros or links within certain VTTs. So you can click on a link within the VTT to play the sound in Syrinscape without going backwards and forwards between your tabs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and here's the thing. I think the big thing to keep in mind is that the web player is like literally brand new. Yeah. Like it just came out a few days ago. I reckon, and this is, this, if I had a giant foam padlock, I'd bring it out and I'd say, this is Dan Servo's lock of the week. I guarantee you that within a month or so, you're going to start seeing more and more community tools that are going to come out for all of the various VTTs that people are going to start playing around with, just because the way that the integration works with the web player is so much easier now. For instance, we're able to put out that page, which you can find at Syrinscape.com/adventure1 under a fell black sky, written by Ben Looms. What you can do is you can actually, put those sound links right in the page with everything. And that's just an example. We put that together mostly because it's a fun adventure that Ben wrote, but also we wanted to show people these are the kind of things that are possible now with the web player. The integration with it is just amazing. These doors are all kicked open now. So I think that you're going to see a lot more integration coming through from the various VTTs, because people are going to start having an easier time developing these integration tools. And I feel like I said the word integration way too many times. That was like, if there's a counter, I think I probably said it like 7 times in that one sentence. But but truthfully though, it's going to be so much easier for people to do that sort of thing. So I'm guessing that you're going to start seeing a lot more community tools coming through that's going to integrate. And that's it.
What is the, look, I got to ask the hard-hitting questions. We found out earlier in the week, somebody called me hard-nosed journalist Joe.
Come here for these gotcha questions, man. Come on.
I didn't come here to make friends, Dan. I came here to get the information to the people,
Well,
unfiltered.
mission accomplished.
How much is it going to cost me? Is there a trial period? Can I try it without, putting in a credit card and stuff like that? Can I try it in a game? Like, how much commitment do I need to make to start using it?
Well, so right now, so first of all, if you're at Gen Con, come by our booth. We do have a voucher for 2 free months. It's a Gen Con exclusive. But if you go to our page, there is a free trial for a Super Siren free trial. You can try it for 30 days for free.
What is Super Siren?
Super Siren, and I'm getting to that, but thank you for... No, I'm just kidding. So basically what we have is we have different tiers of subscription. And so if you're only on it because I just want to play D&D, that's all I'm going to do. There's a subscription that is just D&D and Syrinscape original content included in that subscription. Same thing for Pathfinder, same thing for sci-fi, which includes a lot of stuff like Cyberpunk, Call of Cthulhu. All of those are all included in the sci-fi. But then Super Siren covers everything. It covers the entire library from start to back. And so the Super Siren also is the one that gives you the ability to run games with the web player with an unlimited amount of players coming in. So that way, if, I want to, like, for instance, with Ben, when he was doing his chat, as a Super Siren, you would be able to do that. So we envisioned...
So run a game for hundreds of people.
You absolutely could. Or you could run a game...
All right, what did you all roll for initiative?
What did you all get? Get in line, everybody. So you could actually, if you were a streamer, for instance, you could, run a game and then make your link available, and people could listen to the sound separately if they wanted to.
That's really cool. I didn't think of that.
So, and getting back on topic, I keep swirling out of control here. But the Super Siren is the subscription that unlocks everything and the ability to have unlimited access to the web player and being able to run games. And that right now, that's $10.99 a month. Billed twice every 2 months, so it's not going to charge you every month. Every 2 months you're going to get charged for that. So we get a lot of people that don't know that part, and then they get charged and they're like, I'm getting charged way too much. But it's only every other month that you're getting charged.
And I should add as well, so on top of all the content that we talked about earlier, so those 900 sound sets and the ability to host online and all the other tools, if you have the Super Siren, you also have access to all of the community content. So that's all the content that's been made by people out there in the community using the creators themselves. So where you have like adventure paths that say we haven't built ourselves, or sound sets we haven't built ourselves, community members can actually build them, upload them, and then they're released as actual content that you can download and use. Or if you're using the web player, you don't need to download.
Do you find that people do that for specific, say, modules or something in Pathfinder, and they'll upload and say, I ran this, I built this sound set for it, go ahead and use it if you're running Dragon's Demand or,
Exactly,
one shot.
So I mean, people like
Not one shot,
people like Squiddish has actually built some sound sets for us that have been released as community content, which is great. So that for that particular AP, which I can't remember the name of, unfortunately, but it's one we hadn't ever covered. So he went out, built all the sound sets for it, and you got the entire adventure kind of created by him.
So you said something about unlimited players, and that is kind of what you're paying for with Super Siren. Well,
Yeah.
you can pay just for a D&D membership, and you can still invite a lot of players, or
So what you can do, so if you're using the web player specifically,
Yeah, the
what
web
you
player.
can do is I now and here's the thing, because this is so new, I don't even know if I'm 100% right on this. But what I think we discussed with the web player, if you're a subscriber that's not a Super Siren, you can have like one other person join your game, I believe is what we decided on.
I believe so.
So you can at least run somebody through it and have them, like, you'll get feedback and be like, well, how does this sound? What is it doing for you? Like all of that kind of stuff if you needed to. But for the most part, we're trying to reserve that whole pricing system for people that are actually going to be using it for online play and things like that. So
yeah, but the key point being that only the GM needs to pay that subscription. at
Only
that
the
time.
GM,
Yeah, the
yeah.
players don't need anything.
right. What we get a lot of times is we'll get folks that actually do a group account. So it'd be, like if like 4 of us are playing all the time, they would get a group account going, and then that way that the whole group has an account basically, and they'll do that.
With the old client, I didn't have to pay anything at all, and I could at least get some of the sound sets. Like,
Yeah.
are there still sound sets in the web player that are totally free?
There are, yeah.
Always, pretty much?
22 sound sets come free with the app.
22 sound sets. So
22,
you can
so-
log on and start playing around with 22 of them without paying anything.
Without even an account. Like, yeah, so you could definitely do that. Same thing as, it's the exact same thing as the old downloadable player, where it just, if you download it for free, there's going to be a point where it's like, got to sign in, and you can be like, oh, skip this step, and then you still get all the stuff there. And it's the same thing. You still get those 22 sets. You can still play around with those. You can, still, figure out, kind of play around with the master interface and all that stuff, and take it for a little test drive before you even make an account to see if you're even going to like it, which, why wouldn't you? But
What's not to like,
what
right?
is not to like? But yeah, I think that, along with that, the community content is actually seriously amazing, because on our forums, and this is a lot of times how people will find out about it. On our forums, somebody be like, hey, we're getting ready to start this game, and Syrinscape doesn't have an official set for this. Invariably, you're going to find somebody in the forums that are like, oh, I made that. Yeah, here, check this out and see what you think. So between community content and our official content, I think we got most of it wrapped up. Like, it's pretty good. It just takes...
Comprehensive, as they say.
Yes. Comprehensive. You know what? We're going to make that a quote on the front page. On the homepage, it's going to say comprehensive Joe O'Brien. 2022.
The Glass Cannon Network. If you guys have any questions for Dan or Steve, go ahead and @ the Glass Cannon in chat. I've seen a few questions come through. We've answered them. I don't know if any more are going to come up. Go ahead and ask away. We're going to do a few more minutes here, so if you have questions, let us know. But I mean, it's weird to say that I don't really think there's too much to ask about, because this thing is so simple.
Yeah.
It's so straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not simple to build or execute, but like on the user end,
For
it
us,
sounds...
We did hardly anything to put this
that's
thing
true.
together.
Yeah,
you know,
it's very
so
true.
I thought it was pretty easy. Developers would smack me in the face if they were
Right, exactly. They're not the ones out here. They keep them down in the dungeons, writing that code. Yeah, I mean, to me, for the user experience, it sounds so simple. I cannot wait to start using it. Start using it almost immediately after we get out of this weekend.
So, yeah,
to
Joe,
get on the app.
We're going to actually have a conference call, and I'll walk you through the web player.
Okay.
And we'll go through it. I'll walk you through the master interface, and then literally, we'll set aside 30 minutes. I'll walk you through everything, get you up and running, and then we'll use 15 minutes to drink and have fun.
There we go.
That's what I think is
The
gonna
last
happen.
15 minutes.
Set aside for that.
Really quick, though, and we joke about it, but I do want to say, I got to give shout-outs to Ty, to Ryan, and to Matt, who are our developers that put this thing together, and they worked really hard. And Ben too. Technically, Ben is kind of a coder. Like he does do some of the design stuff on it. So.
Ben created the very original program. Obviously, kind of the dev team have kind of very seriously taken over from there. But Ben is still very, very kind of firmly involved in the development and the coding.
Yeah, definitely. And since we're on the subject of thanking people, the Dread game was amazing.
It really was. It really was.
My goodness. Look, if you're going to play Dread, do it right. And you guys nailed it. It was
it is. It's like your favorite RPG, right?
I'm telling you. No matter how busy I get at conventions, if someone is ever like, oh, we're thinking about playing Dread tonight, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll be there. Give me the questionnaire. How do you guys do this? I lose. I don't know if you could, you probably haven't noticed the whole time. I just keep looking at people walk by. I literally.
The first day I was constantly, I've gotten a little more used to it now. But I do just kind of love waving at people.
Well, because you feel like, you're just doing hey, there he is. It's that guy. All right, yeah, hey, what's going on? You just feel like that, cool or something.
Well, that was Skidmar. You guys are familiar with Skid. Never heard of him.
It's the second time you said this guy's name. Who is this?
Hey, more niche people. It's so awesome to be here. Awesome to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Do you know about the inside joke that They Call Me Stino brought up? They Call Me Stino says, Joe, ask them if there are keyboard shortcuts in the new player. Do you know about the inside joke of the keyboard shortcuts?
I've missed this inside joke.
Well, there's keyboard shortcuts. There's hotkeys, right, in the Syrinscape client.
Yeah.
And frequently, not frequently, but over the many years, it has happened a handful of times that I am going to type something or just search in the client. But sometimes not even, I don't know the client is the primary window and I'm trying to do something else. And it will be an important, quiet moment between two other characters in the show. And it'll just be fireworks, someone laughing, a horn going womp womp womp, and
keyboard shortcuts for the one shot.
Yeah, and it's just bam, 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 all at once, super loud in everybody's ears, and it breaks up all of the moment and all of the beauty of it. It happened at one of our primary characters' funerals.
Oh, no.
The first major character death that happened at the funeral. And we were trying to take it seriously back in those days. It was the first funeral, so it was a serious one. And it exploded everywhere, and it was just the funniest thing. And we almost never edit any of them out of the episodes because they always create this hilarious conversation after the fact. So the question from They Call Me Stino, are there keyboard shortcuts, hotkeys in the web player?
I don't think there are.
No.
I think you should be safe this time.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, that might be something that So here's the thing, and this is, if you're used to searching with the downloaded offline version of Syrinscape, searching in the master interface is going to be like driving a Ferrari. It's so much easier. The search in the master interface is night and day from what you're used to doing.
Hugely.
You can, like Steve said, you can type in Goblin, and then you can search between sound sets, between one shots, between elements, between songs, and just it'll weed everything out that you're not looking for. It makes it so much easier. So
I don't know if we were clear on this. Would you mind clarifying what you mean when you say one shots? Because it has different meanings.
So,
I think of an adventure when you say a one shot.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. So what we have is if you look at the flow chart of how the sounds are organized into Syrinscape, you've got your sound set, which is basically would be like a
tavern.
What's that? Yeah, let's say that friendly tavern.
Yeah,
and then within that sound set, you've got your elements, you've got your moods first, and the moods would be the tavern's almost empty, or the tavern's getting lively. And so those are the subtitles of we're in the tavern, this is what the tavern is sounding like right now.
Right.
And then within each one of
the fight begins.
Yes, exactly.
Cracking glasses, punches.
Yeah, totally, yeah. And then within that, you've got your elements, that everything that makes up that mood. So if it's the tavern is starting to quiet down, you might have the sound of someone snoring, you might have the sound of someone sweeping, you might have all of that kind of stuff, everything's winding down, and all of those different things make up how that mood sounds. And then on top of that, you've got one shots, which are the little coins that sit there, and they're usually quick hit little things where it's like, oh, but then a window breaks and there's like a one shot for that. Yeah, exactly.
A crash of thunder.
Yes, and those are the things that you're hitting during those very somber moments when we should be sad and crying, and then Joe comes along and ruins everything.
Like that has happened before. Oh, so funny. Oh, like winner, chicken dinner, like just goes off in the middle of a dramatic moment. I loved, I felt, honestly, and I'm not like blowing smoke. I truly did not see it coming, that Dread game. Like when we put it together, the idea of, like, we're already playing a lot of Pathfinder. Like, let's, and also I wanted to show off, like, Syrinscape is not for Pathfinder players only, or D&D players. You can use it for anything. I didn't know until we were in the thick of it, like how much Syrinscape would elevate a game of Jenga. Like, like when it's like, dun, 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 and the thunder's going and the water's crashing, and you're like pulling a block. I was like, this elevated the whole thing to a level I did not expect.
It's a whole new experience. Like when they had to set up the Jenga tower again after somebody died. I can't remember who it was, but you had the tense music going on, and they're like, all right, we got to pull 9 blocks right now to set this thing back up. And it was like tense music. It's so funny that I love Dread and I love Syrinscape, and I've never put the two together. And I watched that thing yesterday, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing from now on.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It has changed your approach to Dread from now on. This is a great question from Yosarian. I was actually thinking this exact question. I don't know how to phrase it, but I think this is just a simple, good way. Is there anything we need to keep in mind if we want to use it on streams, such as on Twitch?
Oh, good thinking. Good thinking.
Yeah. So we have really simple terms for streamers. Basically, we love it when you use Syrinscape on your streams. All we normally ask is you make sure you give us a mention, give us some credit, and we have like an attributions list that you can follow. So we actually have a real simple thing within our actual website where you can put in the sound sets you want to use. It generates the attributions list for you, so you can even put that into the credits of your own show. But as long
just
as
copy paste it.
Yeah, but as long as you kind of do that, then you are absolutely free to use Syrinscape. We'll never kind of put any strikes against you or anything. Just make sure you kind of give us the credit, because the more you spread the word about us, the bigger we grow and the more content we can keep building for you.
That's fantastic.
Speaking of, sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. Speaking of, so one of the things that is actually really very cool as a streamer, especially with the web player, one of the cool things about it now is that you can go into, say, OBS and create a source, a browser source in OBS. Pop in the URL that we generate that is basically what the players would click on. Pop that into that browser source, and now suddenly you've got a dedicated audio channel for your sound for Syrinscape that if you need to, you can run that through all of like whatever filters you might need through OBS to sweeten up the sound or to add some compression so it doesn't get too loud or anything like that. However you want to do it.
Affect its own level as like a desktop source. Is that like how?
Well, you do a browser source in OBS.
Oh, I'm sorry, you just said that. Yeah, so
amazing.
It's so amazing. Like this functionality. This was my nightmare in the early days of streaming on OBS. Was like getting the sound of the music from the games out to the stream. I could always hear it, but I could never route it through OBS without it being a microphone coming into the computer. That was the only thing it would pick up. And so the fact that you can have a browser source code be audio, trick it into that being audio is amazing.
Yeah, I used to literally have like a flow chart that I used to have to send to streamers whenever they wanted to use Syrinscape. I had to send them this flow chart showing kind of where your inputs come in and where the output goes out for the Syrinscape. And now it's just put this into OBS and you're done. It's so much easier.
That is incredible. That's incredible. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much,
Joe,
for the support.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
Thanks for letting us be a part of this. Honestly,
thank you for having us.
It was amazing. Like I've had so much fun watching the streams, hanging out there like I'm watching a bunch of fish in a fishbowl. I love this idea. I love what you guys like. First time knocked it out of the park. This is amazing. This is a pretty cool studio you've got here.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. It's so many people make it happen. Michael is right here off camera. He's been here the whole time. All of these streams you're seeing, Michael's doing such great work producing, doing all the camera switching, changing your audio levels, framing us up, getting Dan and Steve water. There are a lot goes. The talent. These are really diva-ish talent. We had to. It was a lot of work to keep them happy.
This one especially.
Yeah, this one especially. What a diva.
What are you guys talking about? I don't see anyone.
I also want to say it again. It's twitch.tv/DIVA Dan_Servo.
Dan Servo, yeah. Come be a part of the Servo Army and give to Seattle Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Servo Army, if you didn't catch it earlier, it is an all-charity Twitch channel. All bits, all subs, all money, 100% of it, no question, not a portion of proceeds. All of it goes to Seattle Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Even if by
through
some
Extra
chance
Life.
I happen to get a payout from Twitch, I just put that into, I donate that to my charity channel. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Dan.
Yeah.
I love it. Get out there, try it out. It sounds like there's a million free ways to check out all little nooks and crannies of this thing and test it before you make the full commitment. I think that they've done an amazing job to convert what was once always a beautiful product, but a little bit onerous at times to get it into your players' ears, especially remotely. And they've addressed the problem and done the work to make it happen and make it easy as it's ever been to share ambient audio to elevate the immersion of your games. So thank you guys again. And next up is the final show. You guys were the penultimate content of the entire Gen Con weekend. Next up, we are wrapping up the show with our sponsor, Paizo, finishing off the one-shot that we began on Thursday in our Pathfinder 2e game. You're going to see Troy LaValle running myself, our good buddy Skid, Brian McD on his first TTRPG stream on the network, and Eric Mona is swinging by to join us.
that guy.
Yeah, you know that guy as the final player. So extremely excited for that. That's going to be up in about a half hour. Hang out, 2:30. We'll go live and finish up our Pathfinder game, and in so doing, finish up our entire weekend of awesomeness. Once again, thank you, Syrinscape. Thank you guys for all the great work, and we'll see you soon. Hang in there.
Bye.